It's story time. It's time for me to tell the story of how I had to chop up the board with my bare hands in half to be able to graduate for my NLP certification. So, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Joe, and I'm an inner peace and abundance coach. And I started this channel so that you can connect with your intuition, you can learn a little bit more about yourself, learn more about manifestation and spirituality, and erase self doubt and start to become more confident in your own ways. And so, if you'd like to know more tips and tricks on how to do this, and definitely if you want to hear this crazy story, stay tuned and subscribe, like this video, and just enjoy. So, the story is a time when it was around maybe 3 years ago. So basically I was doing my neuro-linguistic programming practitioner level, and this was mandatory for us to be able to graduate, so that we had to go through this initiation, if you will. So it was a special day. It was a day where we went into this nice hotel. We had a nice sessions throughout the day. We learned more about neuro-linguistic programming, and it came to the end of the day, and the trainer had a surprise for us. And basically, we were learning modeling. And modeling in neuro-linguistic programming is a term that is just you modeling excellency from others. So you basically learn how they do it, you understand their formula, you take that into yourself, and you do whatever they're doing with the same level of success. And that's exactly what was the whole purpose of this, was to model her chopping up the board in half just by going, like those karate. I don't know if it's karate or if I'm just saying rubbish, but basically she just went like, bah, and just the board was cut in half. And previously to that day, she gave us the board and she said, just on one side, write or draw or do whatever to the board that you like. That is your desires, the things that you want to be doing, the things that you are feeling compelled to do. And on the other side, write whatever you think is stopping you, the other side of the coin, basically, just whatever is helping you keep yourself stuck and in the fear and everything like that. So at the time, I was vegan. And I had this crazy idea of creating, I say crazy, but at the time it was what I wanted. I wanted to create vegan workshops. So much to the likings of me being here on YouTube, just talking about whatever, I wanted to do those workshops for vegans where I would, maybe do some recipes or talk about being vegan or whatever it was. And so I had that idea and I put that on one side of the board. And on the other side of the board, I wrote a lot of words that I thought were keeping me playing small. So I wrote deserving, like worthy, question mark. And I wrote maybe fear and judgment and fear of failure and stuff like that. And I had it drawn in black. And it was quite dark, that side of the board. And fast forward to the day when we realized that the beautiful boards that we had been creating, and mind you, some people in the group were true artists, and they created something so beautiful that when we learned that we had to cut the board in half, I felt sorry for them because it was such a piece of art. and then having to break it in two. But oh well. But the minute we heard, or at least I can only speak for myself, and I know that a few people there were feeling similar things than me. The moment I heard that I had to do that, and basically I saw the trainer do it, and I then understood that I had to do it myself, I started bawling. I started crying like the river just gushing through my eyes. And I didn't, at that time, I didn't realize, well, maybe I did realize what it was. I just felt a lot of fear, a lot of inadequacy, fear of not being able to do it. And it was in a split of a second, I'm telling you. I understood the assignment and I said, I'm out. No, I didn't say I'm out, but my unconscious did, definitely. And so I started to cry and started to stay behind and see everyone, not everyone succeed, but most of people succeeded on the first try. Then there was this other lady that didn't, and she kept on trying and trying and trying, and I was getting nervous because she was not getting it. And so my time started to come. I just stayed behind, didn't want to do it, started to be the last one. But at the same time, I didn't want to be that person that just stalls and just, it's almost like, oh, look at me, poor me, I cannot do it. So I didn't want to be that person. But at that time, I was being that person. So obviously, I was the last one. And I just remember feeling like, oh, I'm being seen. I'm just afraid that I'm being seen. People are looking at me. I'm not enjoying all of this attention. I'm not enjoying this interaction, and I just want to leave. I don't want to do this. It doesn't matter how happy I'm seeing other people feel after they break their board and how they're being congratulated by everyone in the group. No, I just don't want it. I want everything to stay exactly as it is. Even though it's uncomfortable, even though it's painful for me to stay as it is, I just rather stay as it is. Nothing changed. And so I went on my moment in the front stage, and I had the board in front of me, and I had it facing that compelling vision that I've created for the workshops, for the vegan workshops, right? So it was a beautiful part of the board, and we were supposed to connect to that desire and just go all in with our hands and just go, bah! And I don't know why. I couldn't even try, because I don't know if I was afraid that if I tried, it didn't happen and I failed, and then people would see me fail. And I wanted to do it perfect the first time. I wanted to think about how I would place my hand so that I wouldn't hurt myself, and so all of the right angle and not looking silly as I was going for it. And all of these things were going through my mind. And there I was trying to connect to the feeling of wanting the desire that I wrote on the board, and it started to get very overwhelming. And I started to say to the trainer that I couldn't do it. And there she was, just, no, just connect to the feeling. I like to connect to the feeling. And I remember feeling so much that I literally, it's almost like a switch went off and I just shut my brain. I couldn't feel anything anymore. And I told that to the trainer, and she said, no. go back to feeling, because it was just so much pain that you just shut it off. And I had no idea that I could do that consciously, but apparently I did. So I guess we can shut off the pain, but it's not helpful. So it's important that we connect back to our pain and we process it. And so I connected back to my pain, and at that time she said, oh, what happens if you flip the board to that part of the board that was all dark and just, oh, am I deserving? Am I worthy? Am I good enough? And all of that. Am I a failure? Am I a success? So that part of the board. And so she said, just connect to getting rid of it and just chopping that away from your life. And at that, I felt more certain in that area. I felt more certain of getting away from failure. And so I felt the momentum going. But then I just remember saying, there's so many people here looking at me. Everyone is looking at me. And this one thing that she said next changed my world and actually made me go all in for it. She said, and this seems so silly, I'm here thinking about it and going to tell the story, and it's so simple, but to me had such a big impact. Basically, she said, Joanna, there will always be people looking at you. And as soon as she finished saying that, and I say to my brain, yes, there will always be. So I cannot just stop in my tracks thinking, wondering if people are looking at me, if people are judging me, because there will always, always be. And I just took a deep breath in, and I even have videos of it, and I just go like, bah! And the board just chops in half, and it's just like this. People are so surprised because they didn't know that I was going for it. And so it was just so everyone just came rushing at me and hugging me. And it was just so much joy and relief in that moment that I felt. That first, that I was able to cut the board in half. And then that I was able to conquer my fear and understand that no matter how many people are looking at me and how many people are judging me, because they will always be, I just went and did it on my own accord. And so that was very empowering for me. And I just felt so much power, so much self-trust, so much capability, knowing that I got this, and just I was able to endure all of those stages of processing an emotion, and I didn't give up, and I was bold, and I just went all in. And that's the most obvious process of all of this, and the most fast process. It wasn't fast at all. It took more or less 1 hour from the first person chopping their board to actually me chopping the board. But it was so important, that moment. And my message, the message that I got from there is just what I'm saying. Everyone will always be there judging you, always be there observing you, analyzing you. And they will always have their own opinions. But what truly matters is your opinion of yourself. And it's not so much your capability of chopping the board or doing something difficult that you have never done. It's how much you believe in yourself. Because those people, there was one person that couldn't break the board straight away. They tried for like 10 times or more. It's not that they couldn't do it, because in the end they did it. It's more so that they were not believing in themselves. And I was impressed because they didn't give up, but they were not believing in themselves for the first 9 times they tried. And so you can do anything. Capability, ability is nothing when you compare to what you think is possible for you and what you believe you can do. And that self-belief comes with a lot of love and with a lot of certainty and patience towards you. And you got this. You can do everything that you set your mind to. So understand, what is the trigger for you? Is it the fear of being seen by others like it was for me? Is it the fear of you seeing yourself fail? And process all of these emotions. Don't shut them off. Process all of this. Welcome all of it. Because what is coming in is going. So you will be able to process this and come out so much stronger in the end. So let me tell you, it's now that I did it, it seems silly to be going back and say, no, just stay comfortable as you are. Don't do anything. Just sit comfortable. No, no. It was important for me to leave my comfort zone. It was important for me to go and do it, to feel more empowered by it, and knowing that it is possible. So if it's possible for me, it's possible for you. I know you can do difficult things. I know you can do challenging things. I know that you can do different things that you want to be doing, and maybe you're still a little bit afraid. Know that it is possible, and you can do anything that your heart desires. I wish all the best to you. I hope you enjoyed this. I would like to ask you to subscribe and comment below if you would think you'd be able to chop a board in half or if you have in the past for any reason. I would really have fun knowing that I'm not alone. And yeah, subscribe, like this video, share with the friends, and stay here for the next one. Bye!